saying before we were
yeah.
terribly interrupted by our conversation. What went off on our
I
thing?
don't know.
Talking about Steve Wozniak, I
Yeah,
think.
you were talking a story about Les Paul and Steve Wozniak. Hi, it's October 24th,
Yeah, Robert Fleischer,
2021.
world-class artist.
Honored to be in one of your Reynolds reps. It's very good. Thank you very
Well, it
much.
makes me mad when we lose the picture, and then we got to go back to it again.
Well, we got the air conditioning in the background.
Oh yeah, that'll
And
do
a,
it.
and a dog next door, too.
Is that what it is? Well, we also have the humidity from Florida,
Yeah. We could, yeah.
and my armpits are frizzing still.
Yeah, my
All right, so now we were talking about your handmade guitar
Oh,
and George Harrison's harp, and how
well-
he
well,
really never had one.
I'm not sure if he did or not, but I'm working on a painting where I'm reviewing a scene. It's the Beatles were into surrealism and absurdity. They loved the Alice in Wonderland absurdity.
Yellow Submarine,
Well, that's they were
Sergeant
very
Pepper.
Joyce Carol and all of that absurdity and surrealism and whimsy, and
Yeah.
that's where they came from. That's why they were so much fun to watch and listen to in their interviews and the music and the new movies that they made. Like you said, Yellow Submarine.
Have you ever seen the Love Show?
I haven't been to
In Las
Vegas.
Vegas?
Yeah, no, I haven't been.
Well, it's a Cirque du Soleil.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. I mean, but that's all fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
It's they act out all of those things. Incidentally, before we go too far into this, I have a Les Paul, one of his guitars that he gave me. He
Yes.
gave me one of the.
Acoustic.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a. I don't play guitar.
It's a little parlor acoustic. I know exactly what you've got.
So what do I do with it?
Keep it.
Well, I was waiting. I was hoping that I would get back on television. Maybe when they take my storage bin over with Storage Wars,
Mm-hmm.
and they discover it and they act surprised.
Oh yeah, and it's signed by Les too. What a
Oh,
great
yeah.
guy Les was. Because of Joey, I got to have dinner with Les a few times.
I can't afford my storage bin. Maybe I should sell the guitar and pay for the storage bin.
No,
No. Not a
Keep
good
the
idea.
guitar. It's signed to you by Les.
Yeah, does that mean anything?
To
mean,
yeah,
to me.
it does. Yeah, to a lot of people. Yeah, Les was everything. I mean, Frank Sinatra said if it wasn't for Les Paul, he wouldn't have had a career.
He had two guitars. He gave one to Frank and another one to me. He said on his 90th birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And Les, of course, was the creator of something far greater, which was the finger fantasy for drivers in New Jersey.
Oh, right.
Yeah, we
Les
had
created that.
Yeah.
He was also responsible for sound recording.
Yes.
And delay and echo and all the effects that we use today, plus the electric guitar.
And so I introduced Steve Wozniak from Apple to Les Paul. And when Steve got home to California, he called me and he said, "Is Les in the Inventors Hall of Fame?" And I said, "I don't know." I said, "I'll call him and ask him." So when I talked to Les, I said, "Are you in the Inventors Hall of Fame?" He said, "What the hell is that?" I said, "Well, it's in Akron, Ohio, and it's all the inventors. And Steve Wozniak is an inventor, and he wondered if you're in it." He said, "I don't know. And I'm in all these damn things. I don't know what I'm in."
That's
He said,
Les, yeah.
Of course, Les was 95 then,
Uh-huh.
and he wasn't in it. But Steve Wozniak is on the board of the Inventors Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
And they nominated him and put him in there, so now he's in the Inventors Hall of Fame.
Yeah, no, what a great guy. And what an honor to meet him and have such downtime, over dinner. And just, what a nice guy. Very,
Well,
very generous.
He wasn't very trusting.
No, but he was generous in spirit.
I was making my cheesecakes, and he didn't believe I was really making them. And he came over to the house on 46th Street when I lived back there, and he had his driver, that's his son Rusty,
Right.
drop him off for the day. I was babysitting Les, and Les came into the kitchen and says, "I want to watch you make this damn thing."
That sounds
So
like
I made the cheesecake. I put all of the ingredients together, and I used the mix master, and I made it all one master to another. And I did this whole thing, and he says, "I'll be a son of a bitch. You really do make this thing." And I said, "Yeah, what did you think? You think I'd call a bakery?" Let's see.
Wow, yeah, that's stunning that he really had to see it. And then, of course, he tasted it and loved
He
it.
couldn't, but he had a heart problem. He was supposed to not eat cheesecake.
Well, a bite,
Well, yeah, a bite would lead to
Another bite.
one is too many, a thousand's not enough.
Yeah.
But Les loved to have desserts.
Mm-hmm.
But he had the heart. What do you call that thing? When they
Bypass. He did a
yeah, but he
bypass.
also had a stent. A stent,
Yes,
yeah.
Yeah.
Was the other stent he did was at the Iridium.
Yeah,
That's the other
right.
kind of a stent.
And that was great too. Going to the Iridium where you did stand up with Les, and I would go with you to these shows. I saw Les so many times. It was great. Being
Les was
backstage.
beating me up on stage.
Mm-hmm. One of the best pictures I took of you and Les was with Dick Clark when
Yeah.
everybody came back. This tiny dressing room at the Iridium, and it's a great photo of you and Dick Clark and Les Paul. And
Yeah.
I think that's one of the best pictures. But his advice was also simple and to the point. And I'll repeat it for the sake of this Reynolds rap. At dinner for the DeSisto School.
School for Troubled Teens in Massachusetts.
Yeah. I was telling them that I was dabbling in writing songs because it's similar to painting. And he said, well, remember this. He said, you're the first one to hear your new song. And chances are, if you like it, other people will too. I went, oh, yeah, that's a good idea, Les. He said, yeah, that's how it works. He was a very, very down-to-earth guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, really
And then we
special.
became friends with Sid Bernstein.
Oh, my God, yeah, Sid.
Sid brought the Beatles here.
Mm-hmm. And when I met Paul, when he came to Carnegie Hall, which was how I supported my
That's
creative
Paul
friend,
McCartney.
Paul McCartney, he saw the picture. I showed him my homemade Hofner bass that I made from a piece of lumber from the lumberyard, and the block of wood and the progression of it until it's finished. And then a photograph of me and Les the day that Les signed the back of it. And he said, oh, I'd love to see Les again. And I said, well, you can, Paul. Just go to the Iridium Club every Monday night. And a couple of weeks later, there's a picture of Paul and his then girlfriend in formal tuxedo and with Les. And I thought, oh, I think I did that.
Yeah.
I
Well,
think
that's true.
yeah.
We all were friends with each other.
Yeah, yeah. And Sid was such a great guy. I mean, Sid brought the Beatles to America.
Yeah.
And to do the Carnegie Hall show, when Ed Sullivan, hearing that they were coming to New York, he scooped them up for the Ed Sullivan show. We're 70 million, including myself as 11 years old.
You know how much the
Transform-
ticket was to go to Shea Stadium?
$5.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the
$5.
days, huh?
And they rolled, and Aspinall, one of the assistants, the equipment manager, you can see rare film before the concert at Shea Stadium of Les rolling out the amplifiers one by one to second base to where they performed, and it was that crude. They just had their amplifiers plugged into the PA system of the stadium. Nothing like it is today.
But Les would rather have chocolate than the Beatles.
Yes. Yeah,
He
well,
goes to the anniversary of who was left of the Beatles in Liverpool,
uh-huh.
and he was at a ceremony. He was all dressed up and anxious to go. And when he came back, the first thing, I picked him up at the airport. I said, "Well, tell me about it." He said, "Lad, I found the best chocolate I've ever had in my life." I said, Les and Sid, these are two guys that really didn't care about what they were famous for.
Right.
They wanted other things. Les liked his beer, he would
Right.
drink that.
Coors.
Oh yeah.
Loved Coors.
So we had this great ongoing relationship with these people who didn't care about what we were worshiping them for.
At least admiration. And of course, Sid liked to just eat. He just loved to eat.
Yes, and let me tell you about his chocolate and eating. It was a Yom Kippur. You're not supposed to fast. You have to fast.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to pick him up, and he is a real fresher, But I went to pick him up to take him out for a walk or a ride, because we go out. You remember we went out every week. So his wife said, "Oh, he's over at Fairway, the market." I said, "What's he doing at Fairway? It's a fast day." She said, "Oh, I don't know. He's probably buying juice." So I went over to Fairway, and he's in there, and he's eating chocolate. And I said, "You're not supposed to eat. Today's a fast day." And I said, "Why are you eating?" And he says, "Oh, I want to wash down the juice." I said, "Wait, this is the opposite." So now I go outside and wait for him, and you know who's there is Tony Bennett.
Oh,
Tony was walking the dog.
Yeah.
Now Tony's daughter had done my theme song. She was in Italy, you know, and she lived in Italy for a while, Antonia, and she did my theme, a theme for me. And I said, hey, Tony, you know, I saw him walking dog. I says, you know, I'm Joey Reynolds. You probably remember me from your daughter. He says, oh, yeah. He says, you did a good job with her. You know, he was nice.
Oh, yeah, he was
And
a
I
great
said,
guy.
I'm here with Les Paul. He says, where? I mean, not Les Paul, I mean, here with Sid Bernstein. And so I went across the street and I said, Sid, Tony Bennett wants me to bring you across the street. He's walking the dog. He wants to talk to you. So Sid finished his chocolate. Then we went across the street, and Tony Bennett told the story of how he had taken Les. I keep calling him Les. Sid Bernstein was a big promoter in New York. He promoted concerts famously, and the Madison Square Garden, or whether it was Radio City Music Hall or the Carnegie Hall.
Right.
Carnegie Hall, he put Tony Bennett in there. And so he made a return. Tony had a trio, and he filled the room, you know, where you used to work. And Robert worked at Carnegie Hall. So, you know, I was listening to the story from Tony now. This is Tony telling it, not anyone else. And he said, yeah, you know, I did this concert, and we sold out. And I thought my career was over until I did that. And it made a great comeback for me. He said, I owe it all to this man.
To Sid.
So, yeah. And I said, so what'd you do? He said, I told him, you will get me a band, and I'll do a concert for you, and you won't have to pay me. And you take the proceeds at Carnegie Hall. And Sid says, I can't do that. He said, no, you do that. Just get me a band. So he got him Count Basie.
Wow.
So it was a famous Basie and Bennett concert. That's how it happened. But that's Tony telling the story now.
Amazing.
That did
Yeah.
not come from
That's a great story.
anybody else making it up, see?
Yeah.
You know, but so when the artist tells you about it, then it's not like 60 Minutes, you know, where they're tick, 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 tick. You know,
Right,
I mean,
right.
this is where I'm proud to have experienced firsthand these people hearing what they have to say. That's so much different than watching all of these news shows on television and radio. Sometimes I sit there and I wonder, I know I'm talking a lot now, but I sit there and I say, what? That's not what happened. Or, you know, that's not the whole story. It's
Right.
I don't know. I feel like I could add more to it than I see, because I think a lot of
Because
people.
you've been there.
I've been there, yeah, exactly. And a lot of people don't respect the people who have made the journey. You know, some of my heroes were Edward R. Murrow.
Yeah.
When I was on, wanting to be on radio and television in the earlier days, what are you watching?
I'm just wondering, I'm looking at Mary.
That's your dog.
Yeah,
You're stopping the broadcast to
yeah,
explain
right.
how you're looking at your dog.
Yeah, no, I think she went outside.
Well, she has to be with Carolyn.
Oh. Yeah, no,
You think your dog's going to be let outside?
I'm not sure.
You're
can't
kidding.
tell.
We stopped this broadcast for you to do this?
Sorry.
You must have the brain of a pea. Are you kidding? All right.
Okay. Yes, distracted by my dog out there. So,
Okay.
okay.
Anyway,
So-
this is the stray dog, and you adopted it, and you and your sister
Yeah.
used to do that. You used to rescue dogs, right?
Yeah. Anyway, so
So you have this dog who is Mary.
Mhm.
Name
No.
the dog Mary. Why?
her name was already Mary.
Who would call a dog Mary? That's such a common name.
That's what they named her, Mary.
Yeah. You can name a pet anything you want.
Uh-huh. Yeah, no, I didn't. I kept it because she knew her name.
Oh.
She knew her name. So where were you when I so rudely interrupted?
I was gone. Forget about it.
Yeah, no, she's just a puppy, so I worry about it. Anyway, speaking of the devil, shall we introduce her to the... Come here, Mary. Come here. This is who interrupted the show. She's full of energy.
So is she a Cocker Spaniel?
Yes, she's a King Charles Cavalier.
What is that?
a King Charles Cavalier. So
What the hell is that?
Related to the
A
Spaniel.
King Charles
Cavalier.
Cavalier.
That's what they call him.
King Charles from
From
Charmaine.
From London, from Great Britain.
Oh,
So anyway, that's
well, the Queen has a great deal of affection for dogs.
yeah. No,
But she has these short little ones they're like dwarf dogs or something. What are they called? They have those little legs.
Oh,
and
I don't know.
They're not full grown or something.
No, they're so miniatures.
Yeah, they're stunted.
Yeah.
Their growth is stunted.
Yeah.
Very English.
Very, very.
It's like they're.
I want to get back to your story about Tony and listening to him.
That's it. That's about it. He did the concert and it became world famous, and he and Sid stayed friends for life.
Hmm.
They're wonderful friends.
I had an opportunity to work with Tony at Carnegie Hall.
Yeah.
He did a 5-show Monday through Friday, or it was Tuesday through Sunday, and working with him backstage for 5 nights, we got to know each other. And what a great guy! What a class act! Really enjoyed meeting him and getting to know him.
Well,
And as a painter, we talked mostly about painting.
Yeah. I wonder if he's still painting.
I don't think so.
Probably. But he can still sing.
He still sings. There was recently a thing on 60 Minutes with him. He's got Alzheimer's now, which means you got to keep going. You know.
On 60 Minutes with someone who never knew him.
Well, you mean Lady Gaga?
No, she
Oh, you
she
mean-
got to know him.
Yeah, I was going to say.
But the guy who hosted it.
Oh, Anderson.
Yeah, Cooper. Yeah, he's got his nose in everything now.
Yeah, no, he's big.
So what is it that you get your face out there and then they can't get enough of you? Is that it?
You know.
I mean, well, how does that work?
you
I mean, he was
know,
on CNN, now he's on 60 Minutes, then he's doing this, and the same with Gayle King. They're trying to make her a
yeah.
national sport.
I don't know.
How does that work?
I
with
don't
these
know how
people?
any of it works.
Well, how does anybody really? What's the quotient here? That I'm a human being. I turn the TV on and I see someone that I recognize, and therefore I'm a friend. Is that? What do you think?
I think they want you to be friends.
Yes.
You know.
Well, how can a
let's
news
be
person
friends.
be a friend?
Familiarity.
Well, someone bringing bad news is going to be your friend?
You know, the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah, we want the truth. I
Do
guess.
we?
Yeah, I think some of us do. Earth on Earth 1.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I don't know how any of it works. I mean, your observational humor is a gift. You know, you're able to do these Reynolds reps every day, and they're all different, and they're unscripted, and I think it's a gift, you know, that you've got, and always have had. So I think it's important that if Tony and Les and Sid were to teach us anything, it's to keep going, because they all had longevity, and they didn't let anything stop them. Sid kept, every time we spoke, he had another project going,
Yeah.
another opportunity, another idea. And I think that's what Les was doing too. Les always had that going on.
Well, that's what innovator means.
Mm-hmm.
It's like being in virgin snow.
So that's what we have in common, I think, is that we're not giving up.
No.
You know, my profession is got an element called delayed gratification, whereas most painters have to pass away first before their work gets recognized. And you've had a long run and still going, and hopefully there'll be some great things happening. I feel in the future there's going to be some possibilities that are really going to be great for you.
Well, you're not going to see me hosting the late news.
No, but it'll be observational humor
Yeah.
reflecting on the news, and we need that. We need this kind of.
Well, we
art
had it
form.
on 60 Minutes with Andy Rooney.
Mm-hmm.
That was a version of it.
That's
and the other
exactly
side of
right.
the story with what's his name at noon, Paul Harvey.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. We seem to have lost our entertainment bone. We don't.
Mhm.
Americans are subject now to entertaining each other on social networking, which I find to be very boring. because most people are not skilled enough to pull it off.
Right.
But they don't know that, and they think, just taking. How many people want to watch your selfie? That's a good example. See, how many people actually do want to see your selfie?
That dog does.
No, that dog is telling us wrap it up. See, as soon as you brought your dog out here, you brought all the other dogs.
She did. It took a couple of minutes for this dog next door.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I'm not distracted.
We are in reality out here, and there's a next door neighbor with a dog on her porch, and Mary is listening.
No, it's fun. We've already had our little
Mary diversion.
eargasm.
Yeah, no, this is great. It's a great little set studio you have here, and honored to be here, even with my dog.
And thank you for the mask.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, that's
No, these are. Yeah, this is. Everybody should get this
3M makes it,
mask.
Yeah, this is made in America.
Oh, Mary, dangerous having a dog in the television studio.
Yeah.
You want to get that, people.
So this is good.
Google that.
So I'll be wearing a mask on Halloween. Will I be the only one? I don't think so.
No. And it's got a foam thing for your nose and a chin thing. So it's 2 masks in one.
I remember when I was going to spray a little deodorant on my goatee and go as an armpit.
Oh, yeah.
It was a big day.
Oh, no. Yeah, no, that's...
All right,
okay,
I guess I've sweated enough out here.
Yeah, the humidity's kicking in.
Yeah, we got to go inside.
We had the AC running in the background. It's like being at the airport. There's always an engine running.
Oh yeah. No, this is good. Just I just want to end this thing with saying that I hope that everything happens properly with this gun thing that we experienced in the film this week with our friend.
Baldwin.
Yeah, we don't want him to. I hope he's telling the truth. That's all you hope for.
It sounds to me like there was somebody inexperienced in charge of the guns and the blanks. And one of the experts who they interviewed showed the difference between a live round, which looks like a bullet, and a blank that looks like the tip of the projectile is all crunched up. It looks totally different. There should be no way to make a mistake. It's like somebody pinched the top of the projectile, so it doesn't leave the gun. It just there's a flash of gunpowder. So it's almost inexcusable how the 2 rounds could be confused because they look so different. So there's going to be plus there was some walk-offs. People on the crew walked off a couple days before due to safety concerns around the firearms. So, and it was a low-budget film. So when you're cutting corners and hiring young people who don't know what they're doing to save money, same in the media business, they hire young people who don't have the interview experience or the path, for instance, that you've been on that could lend backstories to so much of what we're talking about. We need to honor people with years of experience and our seniors, and you and me included.
I believe that you and I are on a good path, and we're good teachers, we're good mentors. People have to really experience us, though. I'm not asking for a job like a newcomer or someone who is going to give me a TV show. I'm asking for someone to put us in a place where we can build a farm team. That's what I want to do. And look at Robert De Niro has $500 million. Do you know that? And he just went to court with it for his wife wanted half the money. And she lost the battle. He doesn't have to give her half. But he's giving her $1 million a year and a $6 million house to live in, et cetera, et cetera. But he did not have to give her half of his $500 million. But isn't that a lot of money?
It's a lot of money.
I mean, he owns restaurants and a hotel, and he's got
world-class actor.
He did a lot of movies, a lot of films, but that $500 million.
Well, he invested it obviously instead of spending it. So he invested.
Well, he had restaurants. He had Tribeca restaurants. They were very successful. I met the guy who was his partner, Piermont, I think it was. years ago. I just forgot about it. But when we have this kind of money, isn't that? I mean, I don't want to find fault with anybody in America
No,
because
it's
there is no top or no bottom. There is a bottom.
Right. Well,
You're unlimited to make. I mean, you make so much money that you're going to go to a space shot.
yeah, I do believe that De Niro's been philanthropic, and
Well, I hope he has,
I
but
hope
that's.
so.
I'm not asking for someone to be. I'm not asking to review his case. He didn't do anything wrong. I'm simply saying to you, that's an awful lot of money. And so is $3.15 for a gallon of gas. It's unfair. It's unfair to everybody to pay that.
Yeah, that's opening up a whole new.
But it needs to be opened up.
Yeah,
That's where
no,
we need to go. We need to stop.
But that's an international marketplace of oil and the price of oil and the shipping of
Well,
it.
but we're controlling
Yeah,
it so that it becomes that unavailable and that expensive.
Yeah.
It's like unloading the ships and getting into the union situation.
Right. And the truckers, they're training truck drivers now.
Yeah, well, okay, that's nice. I'm glad we're doing a lot of things, but
It's just what do they call it? The supply chain was much more fragile than we ever thought, and the pandemic shut the factories down, people stayed home, and then it all started up, and it just couldn't catch up to itself. It's going to take a while. They said at least until the middle of next year before they can get everything flowing again. In the meantime, people have to use different products than what they're accustomed to. We're still pretty fortunate in that we have so much a land of plenty here in America.
and you're painting about it.
And I try to, and you're talking about it. You're the observational humorist.
And what are we painting now? We're doing. You did some of the first responder stuff.
Yeah, I did a little bit of that with the director of ICU at Sinai Hospital here, and a couple of ICU nurses, and a thing for the nurseheroes.org to raise money to help the first responders from around the country, and everybody I think tried to do a little bit what they could. I mean, it's all you can do is what you have from where you are, with what you've got, and you just go from there. That's all we can do. Teddy Roosevelt said that. Do what you can from where you are with what you have.
I think Mother Teresa said it too.
She did too, but
she was a Rough Rider too.
But I think Teddy Roosevelt was the one that gets credit for saying it. Yeah.
No, she said actually begin where you are.
Right, and she did, all alone, picking up one person at a time before anybody was helping her. She would nurse that one person back to health, and then go get another one, and then volunteers started helping her. Just her commitment, her commitment is, when somebody puts in 100%, it's contagious, and people. It's like Mr. Rogers said, "Always look for the helpers."
Beautiful. All right. Well, we're not out of time.
Not yet. But it sounds like it's a wrap for
Sounds like we're just asking for it.
Yeah, we are. Mel Brooks said, when you get in your 90s, you're asking for it.
So I guess we're done for today. We can
This
talk
is a
another
long
time.
Reynolds wrap. This is a long one.
Oh, is that it?
It was usually they're 10 minutes long.
Yeah.
We got into a little air conditioning noise and a barking and my dog Mary.
I got to hire a mohel.
And
we need someone to cut this.
And kudos to Les Paul and Sid Bernstein and Tony Bennett.
Yeah.
And all the greats that you've known throughout.
I think we've become name droppers.
Well, these are people that you had personal experiences with, and I was lucky enough to also
And
run across.
and that's not all. We've had a lot of them, and you've been photographing them for years.
Well, and also trying to, make a difference like you are, and like anybody else can try in the smallest way possible to the biggest.
And the biggest loss this year was when I had to close that big men's shop in North Korea.
Oh, yeah.
That had to go.
Yeah, he's acting up again, I think.
So Robert Fleischer, go to Fleischer Studios.
RobertFleischer.com.
That's it. How calm are you?
Right now, pretty calm.
Press that button over there. And
Okay,
it's a Reynolds.
This is a Reynolds wrap. Thanks,
it's a
Joey.
wrap. There you go.